Hey guys, this is Gerry Orz, your host for DIY with Kids, and today we're doing another cooking segment, and we are cooking a wonderful breakfast. It is French toast, because what is coming up is Mother's Day on May 8th, and my moms are wonderful, so I want to make them a wonderful breakfast. Let's get to the ingredients. So our first ingredient, one of the most important ones, is bread. Now, if you have someone in your family that's gluten-free, like I have someone in my family that's gluten-free, my mother, then you can get different breads, gluten-free bread or something like that. It really doesn't matter. Alrighty, our next one is eggs. Now, eggs is a little bit messy, so you want to mix them separately. After you deal with eggs, you want to wash your hands, and you just want to make sure that it's all good and clean and does not touch anything else, because raw eggs is very bad for you. Our next one is just 1/4 of a cup of milk, and that is obviously another very important one. And just make sure that when you buy the milk and check the expiration date, because you don't want sour or rotten milk. I mean, that would be terrible. Now this one is just grounded cinnamon, but it is optional. I personally like the taste of French toast with a little bit of cinnamon, but you don't need it. It's completely optional. Now, another two optional ingredients is hazelnut spread and chopped bananas. Now, French toast is like crepes. You can put virtually anything in them. Honey, anything. Honey, strawberries, whipped cream. And personally, I like hazelnut spread and bananas, and so do my moms. So we will be using this. But for actual cooking, we will not be needing these, so you can just push these aside for now. So, the first thing we need to do is break the eggs. Now, before we actually just start breaking the eggs, which we will use this bowl for all the mix, we actually need to get a trash can of some sort. I'm going to just be using a container for it, for the eggshells, because we do not want to put the eggshells in the actual recipe, because it will cross-contaminate and be very bad. So easily, to crack the eggs, you just knock it on the edge as so, and you'll get a little crack, and then you just rip it apart. And the yolk will go inside, and we throw the egg. And also, right after you're done and before, wash your hands, because this stuff is messy, and you don't want to get it all over everything else, obviously. And another egg cracked, 2 out of 3, little math. And the last and final egg. And if you mess up, don't worry. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. We're all human. And it's not a big deal if you mess up. And voila. Just put it all in the bucket, and make sure that does not go anywhere else, and do not eat that. The eggshells are terrible. And now let's wash our hands, because it is pretty messy. Well, I washed my hands after dealing with eggs because it's very messy. Now we need to beat the eggs, obviously. We can use a beater, but it's a little bit too shallow, so it'll get very messy. We can use a fork, but it just won't work out very well, won't come out as best. So I'll use this type of beater, which is very interesting. Instead of going like this or like this, you just put it in the middle and just put your palm flat on the top and just push. As so. And this will actually make the eggs be very fluffy and make the French toast be very fluffy and airy. So it's much nicer. And as you can see, you just do this. And you can actually use this with espresso or coffee or anything. And now we need to add the milk as we beat it. Oopsie. As you can see, anybody makes mistakes. So we'll take our 1/4 cup of milk. Be very careful not to spill it. Just slowly pour it in as we beat. And then we just keep on beating, keep on beating, keep on beating. And you just keep on beating. I actually have a song. Don't stop beating. Anyway, back to the recipe. So it will be useful if you use a flat bowl, since you're going to dip bread into this. Now, if you like putting cinnamon inside the French toast itself and not just putting it on top, this is a good time to add your handy cinnamon. Oops, almost spilled it. That would have been bad. And then just add it slowly. Just couple. And then, done. And then just mix it in. Get it all in there. Okay, so let's actually start cooking it. Now, it's good to have adult supervision in case an accident happens. And if you are an adult, it's good to have someone around to make sure that if an accident happens, someone can get you to safety. So, let's start the fire, lighting it. And then we put it around a 5 or so, like medium, just so the pot, not the pot, the actual, we actually need a fryer, like a fryer pan of some sorts, that is flat, which would be great. So now we need to spray on the pan, as you can see, and this will make sure that it's not sticky and it does not stick to the pan or nothing bad happens. Now let's actually put the bread on the fire. So we don't just put it on the fire, we dip it in this sauce we made. So we just do this, flip it around, make sure it's nice and covered, and then just pop it on. And we can fit around 4, I think should be good at one time. It's very slimy. You're probably gonna have to clean up after around this area when you're done because it is very slimy and messy. And also yellow, it's very yellow. So we did not make much mix, so we probably won't make that many French toast. The more mix, the more French toast you can make. And then we just keep doing it. And that is around enough that's probably as much as you can carry. So it's been a few minutes. Let's check if it's brown on the other side, and if it is, we'll flip all of them. So to check, we just kind of get the spatula under there, just tilt it slowly up. It's a little bit tricky. Just see if it's brown. And it is brown. So now we just take this and carefully flip it and use a spatula to adjust. And now we do that with all of them. And now that we've flipped all of them, we just wait a few more minutes so the other side cooks evenly, and we're ready to eat. Now that looks good, and I can't wait to eat it. By the way, go Red Sox. A couple quick tips: don't forget to clean up after yourself, and the pan you used, wash it immediately, and also the spatula and pretty much everything, wash immediately. Doesn't have to be soap, just rinse it. Don't forget to comment down below, what do you think, and have you made it, and how did it taste, and what should we do our next episode about? And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm your host, Gerry Orz, signing off. Bye!